Hi, this is Shaina. You're listening to my new single, Wannabe, on Dash Radio.
Woo! All right, everybody. This is My Wand here at Dash Radio, the place to be with incredible talent out of New York by way of Los Angeles now. We'll make sure I'm saying this right. I practiced this prior. Shaina.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you're right.
So it's you explained it to me. It's like hyena, right? But like Shaina.
Definitely throughout my life throughout school, people had a difficulty saying my name. So
that's your real name.
Yeah, that's my real name.
And that's how it's pronounced?
Mm-hmm. But that was the only way I could get people to like help them to pronounce it was like Shaina, and then with hyena, and then people started making a nickname for me out of it as Shaina the Laughing Hyena.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think if you would have given me another hour, I would have thought of that. I know what you mean though. I'm my wand. I have to tell people my wand, like your wand. So
yeah, like Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh my God, Harry changed my life. Before Harry Potter, it was really hard to explain my name. But
really?
Yeah, because like the concept of a wand wasn't very universal yet.
Yeah, it wasn't like that well known.
Yeah, so shout out to hyenas and Harry Potter.
Yes.
But so much to talk to you about today. This is really exciting because I feel like I'm getting to help write kind of some of your journey in the sense that the fans don't know much about you yet, I would assume. Unless they've like been on FaceTime with you or Zoom with you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of information out there, but there's a lot of great music. And so I'm really excited to give people some context around the music. So I'm going to start this interview how I start a lot of my interviews by giving you a gift. It's an album I got you. I give out CDs. I'm from the 90s, so I still think CDs are cool. And I got a big collection of albums. So I was choosing between two artists. I think I did right. You let me know. This is Shakira's Dirty Laundry. I wanted to give for you to keep.
Oh my God, I love Shakira. Where she's like, lola, 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 you know?
Damn, you got the Shakira impersonation down.
I love Shakira. That's like the one impersonation I could really do like well.
Oh, she's incredible. You remember when she did that halftime show with J-Lo?
Oh.
She tore that down.
Is it okay if I swear?
Absolutely,
She fucked that up.
Oh,
she
yeah.
fucked that shit up.
100%. What was so great about it was she was next to another titan. She was next to J-Lo, which is super hard to,
to match her energy. Oh.
She outdid her a little bit.
They were the Latino duo.
It was incredible.
That meant a lot.
What about her influence? I know you're influenced by her a lot.
Definitely. Oh my God. So what I really love about Shakira and like her music and how it's inspired me and influenced my music now is she is definitely just very unique with like her riffs and like her runs and like how she orchestrates a whole song together.
Yeah.
And just like makes it really catchy and just basically timeless.
Absolutely.
And I want music like that. That's timeless. That no matter what time or year or anything you listen to it,
and it's
always
different.
bumps.
She covers a few different genres. She howled on one of her songs. She has that werewolf song.
Oh, She-Wolf?
She beautifully was like, oh, like it came out good on the record.
That's so iconic. And no one, even though like I just did an impersonation of her, no artist like can like match that.
Absolutely,
it's tough. She is in her own like category or like genre.
Absolutely.
So that's
but you also, one thing that you have in comparison is your music, it covers a lot of genres. So you have about 6 or 7 songs I've been listening to all day, and not 2 of them sound alike. They all sound very different to me. Like Tease. Tease to me fits very in the lane of like Kehlani, that kind of like new Kehlani, Tinashe. You sound great. You are showcasing your vocal skills, but you're also giving us a little bop to dance to.
Yeah.
Versus, if I'm correct, the other one's called, is it Not Me?
Not It.
Not It. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Not It is more of like a Ed Sheeran. I always say his name
Ed Sheeran?
wrong.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran vibe, right? And so a lot of your music covers, I feel like, so many different genres. What can we expect out of you going forward? A lot of pop music, R&B music.
I definitely one of my preferences is definitely R&B and like pop and like Latin, but I do love like just dipping my toes into different genres because as an artist, I think like learning about different genres and like how, because a lot of artists these days that really like are that make it is they make their own genre.
Absolutely.
And to take something from that and to learn from all these other things and to incorporate it into like you as an artist can really like make you well-rounded and just overall like like you could just span to all these different kinds of like groups.
Absolutely. And you don't have to be in one group anymore. I think earlier, like back in the day, it was like if you were a hip hop artist, you had to do hip hop.
Oh yeah.
And the second you left that box, it wasn't going to work.
Oh yeah, like they're like, oh, why is this person like hopping on this?
Yeah.
Like,
I was just talking to someone at lunch today, like Doja Cat. I love her. What genre is she?
her own genre. Literally her own genre.
So
I
that's
love Doja.
your goal. You want to like carve your own lane?
Definitely. Cause in the R&B like world, there's definitely a lot like of that soulfulness, like very much of that kind of vibe. But I want to bring in something that also means very dearly to me because I love R&B and like how it can show a lot of emotion and stuff like that and just make it a very vibey song. But I'm also Latina, I'm Puerto Rican, and I want to incorporate like Spanish into R&B and like really make it even more like sensual or like sultry.
Oh, I like that.
That vibes.
I think it does. I think Spanish, the language, there's a few attractive languages. Spanish is one of them. It's like French, Spanish, Italian, which we will get into how many languages you cover after this. But I think you actually are onto something there. I think the Spanish language is meant to be like sultry and soulful.
Definitely.
It's a good example of that. Boys to Men have a version of End of the Road called Al Fin de Camino. Al Final de Camino.
Al Final de Camino, yeah.
They sing it's the original four, sing the entire End of the Road in Spanish. And
No way.
I looked it up. They had some Dominican background in them.
Oh,
so
okay,
Spanish was like, it was kind of native to them. They just had to like sharpen the sword. I asked one of the members here and he told me that they practice it. And I think you having the linguistic ability naturally, you would kill it. That'd be so great to hear.
Oh yeah, because like even though like I am Spanish and everything, and I do want to incorporate that because that's my main thing is definitely with like languages. It just I don't know, like what a language barrier is, and it sucks when you're like, oh, but you're another human being that I want to connect to, and like how can I connect to you? And as an artist, you can do that through music because music is universal, and to connect with people in that way is definitely something that like means a lot to me.
Absolutely, and you, my friend. You can connect to a lot of people. Let's talk about the linguistic skills that I was pitched, that I was told you carry, that I'm like, no fucking way. So I just want to know like how well you speak these languages, if I'm accurate. English, Spanish, French, Italian, Korean, Latin, and Celtic?
Celtic. Did you mention Hindi?
Hindi as well.
And German.
Okay, so how proficient are you in these languages?
Obviously, I'm not a. What is it when a person knows like a lot of languages? Isn't it like
I'm not that smart. I graduated, but
it's like something poly.
Polylinguistic probably.
Yeah, something like where they know a lot of languages and like know how to fluently speak it. I'll be real. I don't know how to fluently speak all of those languages.
Okay.
But definitely like to learn those songs and still to know what they mean, of course. Because I don't want to sing something and I don't know what I'm singing.
So you can sing in these languages.
Sing in those languages.
That's harder than speaking in them.
Oh yeah, and to learn like pronunciation and diction was definitely like a big thing that
Why so many? Like I'm fascinated. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm wondering what was your inspiration? Because that's not easy, and it's not like your parents taught you 9 different languages. What was the inspiration?
Well, obviously, I was raised in a Spanish household, so that was already something I was exposed to with Spanish music. But my aunt, she would watch a lot of like Korean dramas on her laptop when she would visit me in New York. And I judged her at first and then started slowly looking over her shoulder, and I started getting really interested in it. And I was like, I want to speak that. I want to speak something that's like completely different from English or like Spanish. And I want to like, because the music that they would play in the TV shows, it was so beautiful to me. And I was like, I want to do that. Like I want to sing that song. So I said, I'm going to look that song up and I'm going to learn it and I'm going to sing it. But then I started getting so hooked onto learning Korean songs that I was like, you know what? I want to learn the language. So
wow.
Yeah,
So you learned songs before you even knew what you were saying?
But I would look up obviously like what they'd mean and everything, like the whole like meanings, and they were so beautiful. That's another thing is that songs in other languages, like how they word things and like the actual translation, it's so beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah. Language, that's I remember I learned that in like 10th grade, that learning another language actually can increase your IQ. And one of the only 2 things that professor said was languages and classical instruments. So I imagine you're smart as hell.
Oh, well, the only classical instrument that I know to play is the flute.
That's a random one, but I like that. Are you like a professional flute player?
I've been playing for like 11 years.
Oh shit, you're actually really nice with the flute.
Yeah, I know how to like. That's another like a thing that was like a language for me, because music is a language. Being able to read music and everything
Absolutely.
like that, like that's in itself like taught me that I could learn something if I just sat down and just put my mind to it.
Certainly.
And so yeah, I haven't played since like obviously like on the regular, like really practiced it since like high school, but when I pick it up sometimes I do play it and I'm
It just
like,
comes
this is
right back
so
to you.
nice. Yeah.
That's cool. Now let me ask you, that many languages, you do have classical experience with the instrument. You were probably a great student in school, huh?
No.
Oh, if I had to guess your GPA, I swear to God, I would have said like a 3.9.
My
3.8.
GPA was so low that like
What?
the military was like looking to.
You didn't get accepted.
Yeah, no, they were like, we want you, and I was like, I don't want you. Like,
Wait, so but learning this many languages isn't an easy task, and I don't think anybody without the brain power could do that. So you just didn't apply yourself in school, huh?
Oh no, I was the kind of person that if I really wanted to learn something, I could learn something. I really could. It's just that I had to be interested in it.
Okay.
School,
So you knew how early did you know that like I am gonna be a singer, no matter what? This is what's happening.
I have been singing since I was like ever since I could talk, and I've been able to talk since I was like 4 years old.
Okay.
So it was kind of just something that I was like, oh, I do this and I sing, and my mom gives me like a little happy smile every once in a while, you know, like, oh, she likes it. And then after a while, I started like noticing things like American Idol and stuff like that, like those shows where people like really devote this time towards like this talent or this gift. And I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting. And I started taking it so seriously that big artists or like Mariah Carey, Beyonce, like Christina Aguilera, Shakira even, like you like listen to those artists and then you pick up on some things and you're like, oh, I want to do a growl like Christina Aguilera does, or I want to belt like Beyonce does, or I want to do whistle tones like Mariah Carey. And it's when I really just try to look up those videos on YouTube as a little girl, just like, I want to learn how to do this. And I made it a goal of mine, like, I'm going to learn how to do a lot of advanced singing things, and I'm going to work my butt off.
Self-taught.
Yeah.
So you taught yourself. Wow. Have you ever been professionally trained?
I had a vocal coach for like 2 days.
Hell yeah. So you've gotten this far with no long-term vocal coaching or anything.
She didn't even really want to like continue lessons with me. She was an opera singer, and she was like, you're my first pop singer, and I have opera students, and you're literally like vocally way ahead of them. She was like, you just need to balance your breathing. And I've since then balanced my breathing, and she's like, you're good. Like, you don't need to come to me. And I was like, I do think it's still good to do vocal coaching. I will definitely get into that. Of course.
But you didn't. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you didn't need it. Your records are incredible. I would have guessed you had like 4 years of training or something.
Really?
Just for your range, you're able to cover a lot of different kind of like
Thank you.
energies. Like when I listen to Tease and Not In.
Not it. Yeah.
Not it. Not it. Not it.
This is not it.
The two records. It not that it doesn't sound like the same singer, but it's two different energies. Like Not It. I'm like on the way to the beach. I'm gonna have a very relaxed day.
Yeah.
Just clear my mind.
Just trying to like vibe.
Tease.
Down.
I'm on my way to Greystone. We have 2 tables, and it's about to get crazy.
Yeah, and
you
you're
know?
on like a date night, and you're like,
yeah, but like you cover them both so well. Neither
Thank
fit
you.
out of pocket. Now I gotta ask you, being that you're younger at the time we're doing this, you're 19. Was it kind of was it not I want to say weird, but how did it feel to release Tease, which was the first song kind of out of that love box? The other records were all kind of like Love, Heartbroken, or I'm Breaking Your Heart.
Yeah, definitely.
And there was Tease.
Well, Tease, it was definitely different for me. It was actually so funny. Funny story about Tease is that it was a song that I only did one verse and then the chorus of, and I scrapped it for like months on end. And then I was like so adamant on like, this song needs a feature on it. This song needs a feature. If it doesn't have a feature, I'm not gonna release it. And went to TikTok and did like a video. It went big, and I ended up finding a feature.
No, so nature
music
is from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So you did one of those TikTok challenges with you, and then you're like drop a verse.
Yeah, I was like verse challenge. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Literally.
I'm gonna up my TikTok game tonight.
Definitely.
It worked. So he really grabbed your attention. He did very good on the song. It fit well.
Thank you. Yeah, he fit perfectly. When I heard his verse, I was like, that's it. No one else. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Absolutely.
And it fit
Wow.
perfectly.
Shout out to that, and shout out to you for trusting TikTok in the audience.
TikTok is so amazing like that. It's an amazing tool.
It really is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not that old, but like I just hated TikTok. I don't know why. I just was like, like the I was so stubborn, and I'm like, I don't understand this, and it was too hard to use.
Yeah.
TikTok, by the way, for anyone who hasn't tried it, that is a full-time ass job.
Seriously.
I'm trying to become a
God.
TikToker on the side right now, and it is so hard to keep up with. But I have so much admiration now for what TikTok is and what it's done for the music industry. It really shifted for me when that dude drank the cranberry juice playing Fleetwood Mac. You remember? He just was skateboarding.
I think I did see that video. Yeah.
Yeah, he was skating with the cranberry juice drug. And it just, that little video clip created this moment that we all loved. And Fleetwood Mac charted again. And when I saw their song on Billboard, I was like, oh, TikTok's
Yeah, like
great.
literally, what was it? Paramore, like their Misery Business, like went big again.
Yeah,
I was like, dang, it
Frank
really
Ocean's
helps.
Lost just charted again.
Oh my
because of a
God.
TikTok video that went viral.
That's insane. How like
yeah,
sounds
and you found a guest feature. So if that moment doesn't happen, Tease probably doesn't come to light.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, if that moment doesn't happen and you don't find the right rapper, do you think you would have dropped it?
There was a lot of great choices. Like I did duet like a few other people's, and then a lot of people think I chose like Nature because he had the most likes and most views, but it wasn't necessarily
Conspiracy,
that.
are you
Like,
sure? We're getting dead this right now,
well,
so he did
why
not.
why else would he get the most likes and views? Because his was so good. Like it was so amazing. And so it wasn't even just up to that. It was just like I also liked the approach that he took to it, because most of the approach that people took to it with the verse is that they wanted to keep it the tease, the sexual like side of it. And then what Nature did is that he brought like a story into it of like, oh, we're friends first, and then we ended up getting these feelings for each other, and now we want to tease before we please. You know what I mean?
So you were more impressed with the actual content, not with the engagement it brought.
Oh yeah.
But for all the haters, the content was so good it brought that engagement.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Y'all thought I literally picked it because it was the most likes and most views. No.
That was gonna be my next question about that. No,
Yeah.
I didn't look that deep into it. But what I did notice, there is a version of Tease on there without Nature. So you did end up releasing the original one too, and just the verse and the chorus.
Well, yeah, because I did actually I added in the bridge actually after Nature sent me his verse.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, I feel like we should do a bridge in there, and I ended up adding it in. And then when my manager was editing the video, he was like, you know what, we should try to see if we could just like not like against Nature, but just like cut it out and just see what it sounds like. And it sounded pretty good.
I think it's good to have it, so when you go perform, and if Nature's not in town,
exactly,
you can do that one.
exactly.
But
I
let
like
me,
that thinking.
yeah, I'm always forward thinking, especially for you younger artists that I know you're gonna do great. I can just tell by your energy and aura. Everyone you meet is gonna enjoy having you around, which is like half the battle. I don't enjoy half of these interviews. I swear to God, I sit here sometimes and I'm like, you'll have artists on their phone, or you can tell they're just not engaged. So
Really?
yeah, you definitely have a great ambiance about you. We'll see how long this lasts. Once you get your first Grammy, we'll do this again and see if you're still chill.
And I've always been this way. I've always rained importance on communication, looking people in the eyes when you're talking to them, and like making them feel seen and heard. Because it's not always, people are so much in their own worlds nowadays that like they forget to take into consideration another person's feelings. And I'm not saying that I put others before me. I just find that balance of like, you're a human being too. You have feelings, and like you watch what you say and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also the kind of person who looks people in the eyes. So we keep having this like awkward eye because we're both looking each other.
Yeah,
so
we're just like.
I learned it from, I remember it was BET had a little segment once about talking to people, and I remember I was like, oh, you're supposed to look people in the eyes? So I can definitely tell you're going to do well in this industry.
You.
But I also wanted to ask you mentioned you've alluded a few times to like writing these songs. So you write your own songs too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Definitely.
You are very talented.
I try to, I want to be that artist that not only just like, because my instrument is in my body. I
thought you were going to say my instrument's a flute. I was waiting for that. I was so excited. Okay.
Yeah, well, but my instrument is in my body, and what can really help an artist become well-rounded is learning about like things like production, things like how to mix your own vocals, how to like write your own music. Because if you want to build this image around you, or like this idea of you, if you're not putting at least a little bit of effort into what your sound is going to be into, how is it going to be anything of you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to be other people's work and creativeness just slammed all over you.
And then you're always going to rely on them.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of groups in hip hop, or not just hip hop, in music history. I won't want to slander any groups, but a lot of artists have had to go on hiatuses because they lost their team, they lost their songwriter or that producer. So that's definitely great. Now you mentioned production. Are you dabbling in producing at all?
I not yet. I need to get like the whole setup and thing, but I
don't feel bad. She just looked down. You know how
I'm just
talented
like,
you are. You're gonna get that down, and just like you conquered 9 different languages.
Oh, it's definitely a goal though.
Yeah, it's another language you're gonna learn.
Literally, it sounds so complex to me, but I said if it's for my music and if it's for to like understand myself better and to like even one day like put a little, not like fully produce my own beats, but you know, like working with one producer 100%. And I get to be like, oh, I think this would sound sick, and just like to know that I played a little part in like a big part of the song. And
absolutely, and you'll have more control over what like the final product is. And also just the music industry in general needs more female producers. I've been harping this for the last like year and a half, that to me it never made sense why there wasn't. I'm the type of kid where the reason I have all these albums, like the one I gave you, I look at who produced everything, every album I ever bought. And for years I was like, is it only like the men are allowed to produce, you know?
Yeah.
But I talked to one female artist who explained to me politely that females haven't been encouraged to be technical and to learn those skills for decades. And so I think your generation and the generations to come, I'm going to call this now, I've said this to a few artists, I told this to Angelica, a female artist spoke to who produces. I think the next evolution of music is female production.
Oh, definitely.
I think you will end up being a part of that.
I hope so. Like one of my big inspirations as to like why I really want to dabble into like producing and everything is Ariana Grande.
Does she produce?
She steps into the producing and everything.
No, I didn't know that.
Like,
really?
Yeah, even like into her mixing and stuff, and it's so interesting and just like wow, that's inspiring. I wanna be at that level of like really knowing not just like how to do my vocals, but just to like even like do like the tweaking of it and everything. Yeah. It's a skill.
Absolutely. And it financially speaking, you'll make more money if you're producing on the record too. I always look at every song as like a pie. You're gonna get that piece of it as well.
Exactly. You get a bigger chunk. It's
exactly.
Like, oh my God, pie.
Yeah. So that's exciting to know that you still at this point where you've, you know, to me you're aware of thousands of artists even in this little area Wannabe. You're on the right path, and
so blessed.
And but for you to be so humble to say like I'm still learning, I still need to get these things down.
No matter what place I'll be in, you can catch me on this in years to come. Like I believe, and I will never stop believing this. As anyone, even no matter how big you are, even like artists like even Beyonce, like you always have something new to learn. You always have something to grow from and to evolve.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily change, but just to grow and evolve into like a better version of yourself.
Absolutely. So. I love that. So a couple more questions for you. One, are you able to say hi, how are you in all the languages you speak?
No.
Okay, that was all just
I could
curious.
do it in Korean. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Wow, your Korean's really good. Okay, so Spanish and French, obviously you could. Now, when you say you're Italian, Hindi, is that just singing wise? Like you can do those languages? Yeah. That's still fascinating.
I try to learn more and more songs of those languages to like, you know, have like other ones like of different like genres, because even if it's a different language, they have their own genres.
Wait, why would you learn any German songs? I go to Germany every year, you know,
really?
To all my Deutsch people, you know, hello, Dankeschön, mein Name ist Maiwan. My whole mom's side lives in Germany. I'm there every year.
Ich liebe dich.
You speak good German.
A little bit, yeah.
I apologize in advance. That's an ugly language. Why would you learn how to sing in that language?
Well, the one that I really love to sing in German it's opera.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 99 Luftballons. I was so excited. Okay, opera.
No, but it's actually opera, and it's the song Ave Maria.
Okay, never heard of it.
And really?
No, it sounds Spanish. Well, that's because I'm gonna get canceled for that because I heard Maria. Thought it sounded okay.
Yeah,
it's an opera song in German.
Yeah, and it's not mainly in German, but the one that I learned is in German.
Wow.
And you're right. Like it definitely sounds like a very aggressive language.
Yeah, but very sharp. A lot of the sounds. It's like if you're looking at it on an audio wave, it's like ugh, like it's like it peaks for a lot.
Can I like sing you like a little bit of like
please,
where it's
please,
like
please.
There's this one part where it's like Jungfrau mild. It's like
That sounded
yeah,
beautiful.
it's very.
Wow.
They make such an aggressive language sounds just so beautiful.
You could really do. I see why the opera teacher told your ass to go home.
Yeah,
you sing way better than anyone in her class, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm still like, I need like 30 seconds to recalibrate.
When I tell you, I try to learn lots of different genres. Like I loved Phantom of the Opera. When I hear something that just is so pleasing to my ear, I'm like, I'm gonna learn that. I'm gonna learn that.
Wow.
Like, it's.
Do you have a favorite song ever, like one that you know?
In a different language?
No, just in general.
In general,
One that you can sing. What's the song? I'm not gonna make you sing or ask you to, but what's the
okay.
song that you can do top to bottom that you know? Because you seem really smart. You have to have a lot in there in your head.
I can. One song that's actually a different language is La Vie en Rose. It's in French by Edith Piaf.
Oh, wow.
I can sing that from beginning to end. I've completely memorized it.
Très bien. Wow.
Très bien,
Wow.
yes.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, but I know way too many songs. Like I probably should have like studied more in school. I focus too much of my brain on music.
So I'm gonna throw this out there. You seem like you might be too humble to admit it, but you seem like you have like the genius gene in you. Some of it's in there, if not all the way.
I think there's different kinds of intelligence, and mine is just a creative intelligence.
I can see that. Well, I think you could have went to Harvard if you wanted to. Not that you should have. Thank God you didn't. I just think you're really smart. I'm getting like, I catch the vibe that you have a very, very high IQ.
Oh, thank
and
you. But
thank
I
God you applied it directly to music.
Oh, thank you. I do think that I even feel like I need to educate myself on like so many things. Like,
Girl, you just sang in German and in French. You are fine.
I don't know. I wanna learn more. I feel like I'm like a sponge in that way. It's just I can never stop absorbing things. I just
like
want
that.
more and more.
That's exciting. Well, I'm excited to see the next time we talk where you're at, what you've learned. I'm gonna specifically ask you what other languages you might have picked up. But excuse me. So you dropped last 2 years. You dropped about 7 singles.
Yeah.
What are we building up towards? What do you have in mind? Project, EP, more singles?
I was thinking maybe an EP, but I was telling you before this interview, actually, I have so many songs that are just written and just not recorded yet, and like they could be a whole album's worth.
Oh, I'm sure.
Literally, and I'm just waiting to like record them and just release so much, just like at once, because I would love to do a big project. Because releasing singles, it's nice, but to be able to like spoil your audience with like, okay, here's like a bundle of songs, have fun, like, you know.
And you seem the type like you're gonna want to do like, you want a themed project. Like I can see you wanting to do like a story top to bottom. It's gonna come. I think what's so cool about today's world is the artists now, you don't have to call your label to put out a snippet. You don't have to call your label to ask the fans what they think of the music. So I always tell artists now, drop singles and the fans will tell you when to drop the album.
Literally.
Fans will start begging you for an album.
Be like, where's the album?
And that's when I think that comes. So in your mind, you're gonna keep, you want to materialize all these songs. And then, if we're lucky, we'll get to hear them all.
Yes.
And hopefully get, some small little projects, not in the sense of like EPs until we get to that.
Yes.
As they say, magnum opus,
Oh yeah, like
first debut.
That debut album, that is gonna be like my first baby.
Yes.
I cannot wait to care for it and nurture it and just have you guys hear that. Even though it's like so uncertain, I don't know it, you don't know what that is yet. Like I already know. I'm very excited for it. I'm very like just so happy.
Yeah, you're like a musician's musician. I know you want the whole thing as far as like what's the album cover gonna be like, and how does the track list look on the back?
I'm like you. I think of everything.
Yeah,
I try
I can
to
see
think
this.
of everything.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to get to that point, but I'm more excited for the journey. Like to see what happens with you the next year or two as you get to that point where fans are just banging on your door, like slamming your DMs, like, where's the album girl? Where's the album girl?
I'd be like, here.
Man, you have a really good Shaina, right? Make sure I said it right. Shaina, you have a very good, contagious, positive energy about you.
Really?
So I'm gonna end this with, we're in such a critical world now. I just feel like with social media, I hate using the word depression, but like mental sadness.
Yeah.
I don't like using the word depression, but everyone's always sad these days.
Yeah.
And I think it's just people don't look at the right things, and you can see something so quick on Instagram and you choose to just think about the negatives. You seem so positive. I have not caught an ounce, even from your music. I had a feeling this is how you were. How do you keep yourself so level-headed and just positive throughout it all?
Well, obviously I'm a human being at the end of the day, just as anyone else. I've had my down days, and I've felt like there would be moments where, how am I gonna bounce back from this, and like, when am I gonna feel happiness again, like I usually do, because it's very hard. And you're right, like things with social media, especially nowadays, especially like with teens. I'm only 19 years old. It's so hard on us, like, and I'm so happy that my generation, Gen Z, is definitely like putting importance on like normalizing going to a therapist and like seeking help. It's okay to ask for it, and to healthily communicate things that are like bothering you or hurting you, or that, you know, wounds that you carry still. And I felt that especially a lot through social media with that whole Tease video that went big. Hate comments definitely came through with their own opinions
Of course.
on my music, and that was all new to me in that moment, and that was so much for me for a few days.
Yeah, it must have been shocking, right? Did you have to close everything for a few days?
I actually had to take a break from my phone, but I ended up calling like my support system and like trying to feel like myself again, and they were like, girl, like, you're an amazing artist. There's gonna be people that love you, and there's gonna be people that hate you, and just at the end of the day, you're a beautiful person, and just keep being you, because just as how we found you and like we're your friends, like you will find your audience and they'll be drawn to you. And so just keep being you at the end of the day, and just, you know who you are, so stand in it. And I
love that.
I was like, dang. Like,
Shout out to your support system.
yeah, shout out to my girls.
Shout out. Okay, so that, because I was wondering, especially your generation, as you alluded to, like the negative comments. Like even when I go semi TikTok viral and I got 20,000 views, there's so many people just talking shit.
Oh.
And I'm always like, why is everyone talking? But so anyway, you're very level headed, and I think you're gonna have a real long career. I'm gonna manifest that and predict that. I think
just don't look at the comments. My piece of advice: do not look at the comments. Just post it and just be like, it's already out there. It's whatever it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, and if people hate it, they hate it. There's gonna be people that are like, this is the best video ever, or this is the best song ever. And then there's gonna be people that are like, this sucks. So just keep being you. At the end of the day, that's my best advice to you. And yeah.
I love it. Very well said.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, I would not, if this wasn't an in-person interview or I didn't have notes on you, I wouldn't have guessed you're 19. You are very mature for your age.
My entire friend group is like way older than me.
I can imagine you probably hang out with like Elon Musk and like, you know, like the 40-year-olds of the world. But you have a incredible catalog of music already out. Anyone who hasn't heard it, please. I'm gonna say start. I don't want to say start with Tease. I'm gonna say start with Not It. That's the song that really stuck out to me. Just because I don't know, I thought that pocket was really beautiful, and I love Tease too. I listen to Tease a lot.
Well, because Not It has like a chant, and people love chanting things.
Yeah, and I've been really on Adele recently, so I think I'm just in that pocket of listening to. Which one of your records too? It was the acoustic version you did of Go and
Good Night and Go by Ariana Grande.
Good Night and Go. Yeah, that was when I was like, oh shit, she's a singer. Like, so anyway, everyone needs to go listen to your music. I'm excited to see where your career evolves to. And us here at Dash, we take pride in being able to do our best to introduce the world to artists that we know are gonna, you know, blow up. And we can take pride in saying we did Billie Eilish's first in-studio interview. Post Malone's first in-studio interview, Cardi B's first in-studio interview, and if I'm correct, Shaina's first in-studio interview. So very excited, and I can't wait to brag about that as time goes. I can't say this to every artist. Look, he's so excited. I can't say this to every single artist, but I'm really confident that Dash, and myself included, will be able to brag that we sat with you this
Well,
early.
I'm even just simply so blessed and just grateful to be here. And like you said, like so many other people could just like wish to like literally be here. And this is so surreal to me. Like, I'm probably like on autopilot right now. Like, then afterwards I'm just gonna like scream when I get home. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, how did my day, like, what was that? Like,
this is nothing, girl. You got stadiums on the way. You have lines of kids around the block on the way. All that stuff.
Well,
so.
I'm very thankful that you guys are the first one to have experienced my first interview with.
Thank you. We are honored. If the music wasn't good, I would have not sat here with you today.
Yeah, well, thank you for believing in me.
No, of course. Thank you for making the music. It started with you.
Thank you.
No, of course. Thank you so much for coming on. Let me know when you have a show out here in LA. I'm going to come out. Dash is going to blast it. We definitely need to come out. We need to do some meet and greets here at Dash.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
I'm totally down for that.
All right, Shaina, thank you so much. This is My Wand here on Dash Radio. You can listen to Shaina's music all over Dash Pop X, Dash X. You're going to be creeping into Dash R&B soon, everything.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, where can they find you online? Socials and everywhere.
I believe, so my Instagram will be Shaina_official, and my YouTube will be Shaina_official. And then I believe my Spotify is just Shaina. So you guys
I can confirm that one. That one is Shaina.
Yeah. And then on Apple Music, same thing with Shaina. And yeah.
Cool. Everybody go stream everything now. And like I tell people when it comes to the stock market, buy now.
Buy now, yeah.
Buy the stock now, because I promise you guys it's not going to be as easy to post her and see the reposts and stuff like that. So it's great to catch you at this phase of your career, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Very kind.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, everybody, this is My Wand, Shaina, Dash Radio. Go listen to Tease out now.
Bye, everyone.
Boom.